Talkin Money. Talkin Money.
Let's rejoin your host, Jeff Tarbell, and Talkin Money.
Wow, this is a nice boat. Reese, is this yours?
Actually, that's a yacht.
I'm sorry, a yacht.
Excuse me, Hutch.
That's a yacht. How are you doing? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Or you can text us at 441140 if you would like. We did get a correct answer to our Bloomberg rankings from 2010, the Sucker Index.
So they actually have a sucker index.
Yes.
Something to measure the suckerness.
Georgia lottery players are the biggest suckers in the nation, buying more than $50 billion a year in tickets for the state-run games, which have the worst odds of any form of legal gambling. Players in Georgia, whose per capita income is about 10% below the U.S. average, are doing the most damage to their personal finances compared with lottery players in other states, according to the Sucker Index by the Bloomberg.
So where does Maryland fit in? Are they on that list?
Maryland. They're not in the top 10.
How about Kansas?
Nope, Kansas.
Illinois?
It goes Georgia, Massachusetts, New York, Michigan, South Carolina, Jersey, Maryland number 7. There you go.
Okay.
Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, Kentucky. California is number 33 in a tie with Kansas. Or, excuse me, a tie with Iowa. And so it's the higher your per capita income is for your state, although that doesn't make sense because New York has incredibly high income. So
well, the 3 winners were from Maryland, Kansas, and Illinois. So there were 3 that hit the numbers.
Okay, Maryland was number 7, Kansas was number 32, and Illinois was number 20. So, yeah, they were all over the place. So there you go. Good for them. When we come up with the second hour, Chris Verlaud is going to tell us what he would do with $100 million.
Buy half of a yacht.
You buy the back half of Spielberg's yacht. He'll let you clean the toilets.
He's going to wait for that 30-year-old widow.
He's going to wait for the 80-year-old dude to drop, and he's going to get the 30-year-old girl.
That's it.
I could work on the yacht, but I can't stay on the yacht.
You cannot sleep on the yacht. You'll have to get a hotel across the street. Hey, we are giving away today our little Sierra Tahoe blowout. So, and we'll give away tickets that we can mail out as well. But if you are interested and capable and able to get out of bed and put your jammies on and come down to the station at 5244 Madison Avenue, we are giving away up to 15 passes today. And you can give us a call at 339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. You must be here before 11, and you must know your own name and phone number. And for many of you, that is going to rule you out. So I understand this is a difficult quiz, but pace yourself or look in your wallet. Maybe you wrote it down somewhere. Hey, here's my next quiz question that relates, and I'll finish up with my my cruise story. I haven't even got out of the Fort Lauderdale Harbor yet, and I was gone for a whole week. So there's my question at 339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140 if you would like. And you can have some ski passes, or you can have some Jim Boy's tacos, or you can have some cupcakes, whichever you would like, and they all come with the Talkin Money T-shirt. So this gentleman, what they call the billionaire of Fort Lauderdale, is the only CEO in history to be the managing CEO of 3 Fortune 500 companies at the same time. And I'll give you what the companies are. And I believe he also owns either all of a baseball team or part of a baseball team and maybe some football. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Chris about that. So the 3 companies that he was the CEO of at the same time were Blockbuster Video, AutoNation, and I believe the third one was Waste Connection. And I believe he owned part of I'm not sure which baseball team. So if you know who that gentleman was, it was pretty fascinating because he had about 5 or 6 different houses on the same block, if you will, of the water. And this is the part I didn't get about being him. So if you in fact had a few $1 billion, and here's the interesting part. He sold out of the Blockbuster like 6 months before Netflix came out. So he sold to Viacom and I think they sold for $2.4 billion, of which he had about $1 billion in shares. And then Netflix came out, and what happened to Blockbuster? I can't seem to find one on the corner anymore. So it's gone the way of the VCR, as well as the BlackBerry is going there. We'll cover that in a little bit too. So Nick, get this. All this traffic is going down this waterway, right? It is the equivalent of Watt Avenue of the water. I mean, with the amount of people that travel going on there. Now, if you have a lot of money, it doesn't matter if it's $1 billion or not, this gentleman's backyard and his swimming pool and everything else too opens right up to this water. I mean, there's idiots like me going by, with their finger in their nose looking, oh, look at that house. If you have all that money, do you want to live with everybody and their mother? I mean, it's like being a billionaire and putting your swimming pool in your front yard on Watt Avenue and hanging out there in your swimsuit. I mean, everybody's going by. I don't understand that appeal to it. It's like you think you would kind of want to be somewhere where everybody wasn't, but I do think there is some of that to being amongst all the names I just listed to.
Sure. Well, and if you have enough money that you could buy the neighbors, so you don't have neighbors, that's a big part of it.
Well, he has neighbors, but it's funny you say that because I didn't say anything to you. This gentleman used to fly his helicopter from his house here over to his office, which was just a couple blocks over, and the neighbors, as you can imagine, didn't like it. So he did, in fact, buy out his neighbors, tore a few of their houses down. So that did happen. So that is our quiz question. If you know the answer to that, 339-1140. So we left. I'll just give you a quick routine. We left on the cruise. We went to, where we go? Grand Cayman Island, the Cayman Islands, which is I think Grand Cayman, I want to say it's in the top 5 or top 7 financial centers in the world. Okay, this is a little island that looks like an L. It is butt ugly. Okay, there's no other way to put it. The island itself looks like a scrub brush. It's ugly. The water around it is drop dead gorgeous, so you spend the water. Bill Gates has a house there, and this is where you hear the term offshore banking. This is where people put lots and lots of money that they don't want maybe everybody to know is there. There's no other way to put it. That's what they do in Grand Cayman. They're an offshore banking operation. So did some Grand Cayman, went to Roatan, which is outside of the Honduras, a little Cozumel, Mexico, and then went to the spot and came back. So we went from the billionaire zone to Mexico where things are not going so great. I mean, it is just still very, very poor down there. Very beautiful.
Right. How's the water? Clear?
Yeah, it's some of the best dive spots in the world. And you can go down there right now and you could buy an oceanfront place in some of these places in Mexico for nothing if you want to be in an oceanfront place in Mexico doing nothing.
Right. Hey, Jeff, I want to talk a little bit. We brought up the word billion. We have the lottery here, $500 million or $750 million. Hey, there's some numbers that came out at the beginning of March, and I've been holding this for a while. Take a rough guess in the billions of how much money the lawsuits, the amount of money going out of BP's pocket is related to that spill.
So now we're talking water and money again.
Yep.
So
that's called a segue, idiot. Okay, go ahead.
This is called a segue too. So we're talking about how much they lost because they lost oil, or they were talking about people they had to settle, they had to pay people.
Just payouts. So if you look at the payouts to the tens of thousands of Gulf Coast residents and businesses, basically all the money that went out of BP's pocket is related to that spill.
I would say $4.37 billion.
All right, you're off a little bit. Numbers, here we go. The amount, tens of thousands of Gulf Coast residents and businesses that they had to pay, $7.8 billion, right there. $6.5 billion to about 200,000 residents and businesses via an out-of-court fund. So they had to set up this additional fund.
Okay.
So right there, you're at about $14.3 billion. So when you hear that number, you think, holy crap, that's a lot of money going out of their pocket, right? Here's something I didn't know. BP actually received from, Anadarko Petroleum, owner of 25% stake in the well. They had to pay BP $4 billion.
Well, if they own a quarter, they have to cough up a quarter of their portion of the law.
Right,
okay.
right. So when you hear that number of $14.3 billion coming out of their pocket, you think, well, that's a lot of money. But $4 billion came back to BP. Another $1 billion came in from Mitsui & Company, the owner of the 10% stake in the well. And $75 million from Weatherford. It's a maker of the well equipment themselves. But you sit there and think that overall, $14.3 billion went out. About $5.3 billion came in. So you're looking at $9 billion. That's a lot of money.
That's
right?
a lot of money.
Well, you only got to win the lottery, 18 times. Here's another thing. I want to put that in perspective. There's a fraud going on against the IRS, and this is, this is happening in Puerto Rico. People are swiping Social Security numbers of Puerto Rican citizens, and since they don't have to pay federal income tax, they're less likely to be on the IRS radar, right? So people are stealing Social Security numbers, submitting in fraudulent tax returns. So here's a problem.
So I guess they're asking for a refund then.
Yeah, they're getting refunds.
Okay.
They're working with some postal workers that are kind of saying, I guess based on the addresses, those postal workers are getting up to $100 a piece for each of these checks that are coming in. So there are post office workers who are getting up to $25,000 a week in terms of these checks. The loss to the government is in the billions just from this one scam. So you start thinking, BP's paying, $9 billion out for that huge spill. The government is losing billions of dollars just in this one scam, this one organized scam coming out of Puerto Rico.
And it's a little thin article. I had to tear off one of the pages there, and yet the BP stuff's on the news every day.
Right. So, I mean, sometimes you get caught up in the millions, billions, trillions, but again, the entire oil spill, $9.3 billion coming out of BP, and this one scam, this one organized scam out of Puerto Rico's billions of dollars lost from the federal government.
Losing almost
it's
as
crazy.
Much. Yeah. Hey,
anyway.
we got to take another quiz question. Did we get a quiz winner? We did get a winner to our answer. The answer to our quiz question was Wayne Huizenga. Chris, does Wayne own, is it the Marlins?
He used to own the Marlins.
Used to own the Marlins.
Then he sold them to the owners who now own the Red Sox.
Oh, okay. And I thought he owned part of the football team too, but I guess not. Huh?
I think he owns like a little bit of everything.
I think that
he owns part of you, Jeff.
That is exactly. He does. I had to use his restroom one time, so I left him $20. Hey, we got to take another quick break. 339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. Got a couple of lines open if you want to jump in. And if you want a ski pass to Sierra Tahoe and can come by and pick it up before 11 o'clock, 5244 Madison Avenue, give us a call. We'll be right back.